mid segments. Anyways, Facundo, your 5 things. Let's hear them.
All right. First thing was we got the starting lineup wrong. And I think when you go a goal down, that I don't know what the word I'm thinking of here, but you illustrated a lot more when you go a goal down. And that lineup was just not very good. I wasn't necessarily shocked at Marino starting. The Trossard start, that really threw me for a loop. Did not expect that to see that when I got up in the morning. You just needed some sort of pace there, and I felt like we made a mistake. I know Mila just talked about Kusanov and recovery pace. I think that's pretty easy if that's Trossard. I think if Martinelli's running, I think that's a different story. There was one time where Marino, who didn't play particularly, I don't think bad, but not great either. He was just kind of like, eh. He played a ball down the middle, and it was Trossard, and he wasn't fast enough to get it. But that's kind of, if we're going to be a little bit direct like that, like we've got to get on the ends of those chances. Then kind of tying to the next point, which is number 2, is just play quicker and with an urgency to score. The first 10, 15 minutes, I thought we were on it. We didn't really create a chance, but that's kind of expected. You kind of have some leeway in the first 10 to 15 minutes to kind of feel out the game. Then after that, I thought we had a lot of meaningless possession until the last 5 minutes of the first half. And then there was some sort of urgency to kind of get into the game. I thought Noni was really bright. Again, probably our best player in the first half. But yeah, we just need to run in behind more. We need to take risk and play those balls in behind more. And not just have domination in terms of where you are on the pitch. I don't think we've dominated at all. I thought we had really good territory and didn't really do enough with that good territory. The third bullet point is Gyökeres needs a rest. Unfortunate that Kai got injured, but I think Kai would have been the obvious choice in these big 6 games. With Martinelli's form, I think we should give him a shot at the 9. If Gyökeres is going to be that person that runs in behind, I think Martinelli can do that just as well. Like that diagonal run in, beautiful run, beautiful timing. He had another one with like 3 minutes after we scored with like 3 minutes left. That if Eze is just able to poke it onto him, maybe. But yeah, just need more rotation at that forward position. The big thing I'm noticing with Gyökeres is he cannot hold the ball up, and maybe he's just not fit, but I do not see the separation and pace. And if you're not going to get away from people and you're not going to be technically secure, I just think you're going to have a tough day in the Prem, which is why I'd like to see him just get involved a little bit more in different areas that he's not doing. Like, it doesn't always have to be a running behind. You can drop in. I think the issue is everybody else kind of always checks to the ball when they need to be making the runs in behind. So just some diversity there. The fourth bullet point is that Eze and Zubimendi are tempo setters, and more so Zubimendi. I thought Eze showed he was capable of playing that number 10 position and being the one that when they played the ball to him actually turned and goes forward, or like you pretend like you're going to receive, you let it come across you, and now you're running at their back line. Zubimendi, the same thing, not necessarily a ball progressor, but one thing I've noticed is like when he gets the ball, it's like, let's get the hell forward. Like we don't need to like move it around all the time and then find a progressive pass. Like let's get it forward and run at them. We're 5 games in. It doesn't look pretty, but you're seeing some signs. We just need to kind of click and attack, but most of the attack is new players. So those 2 I thought were really good. And then the last point, and it leads me to a question, is that Mikel did not expect City to play that way at all, which I think was the reason for the lineup. And then the biggest question I've walked through, it's kind of 2 that I've walked away from this game, is have bigger teams realized that they could play us like the bottom half teams can? And what does that say about their thoughts about our creativity? And I think that that's pretty telling. Now you're 5 games in, but I think Liverpool and City have both said, have the ball. And we have not done enough with it. And
Mm.
in the Liverpool game, I can kind of get it. You're away from home, and that game was there to be taken. And we didn't make the substitutions at halftime that we probably should have or earlier. And I think he did that this game. But by that point, by 30 minutes, you could tell we need to make a change at halftime or we're not going to get back into this game. So I think at this point, and I don't think it's like, oh, this is so bad, Mikel needs to be removed from the club. But at some point, you've got to realize you have the best team in the world. Like, it's great to limit your opposition and base your game plan off of them, but I think at some point you've got to impose your own. And this team is good enough to be able to do that. So he's learned from everything else. Hopefully, this is just another part of that learning curve of like, hey, you have a really good squad now. Like, we can afford to take a little bit. I don't want to say risk, but there's got to be like an urgency to score or some sort of like ingenuity or like creativity that this team is just right now for some reason not doing it. And part of it is just we got hurt again and there's new players, but I also just think like the mentality just that's probably the first time I've walked away feeling a little bit frustrated about how we played.